Hi everybody, how are you? Welcome to day 2 of our self-care for stress relief training. I'm going to wait a second and see if anybody could hop on and be with me live. I hope so. But if not, if you're catching the replay, please just say hi and let me know that you're here. So for those of you that don't know me, I know most of you probably know me by now, but if you don't, I'm Ambar and I am a self-care coach and stress relief specialist, and I'm also a wife and a mom and someone who really struggled with stress and anxiety for a big part of my life. And for the last 10 years, I really just devoted myself to healing my own stress and anxiety. Just by learning everything that I possibly could about self-care and stress relief and stress management. And I've really made it my mission to just share everything that I've learned and everything that's been working in my own life with you, so that I could kind of just help do my part to put an end to this epidemic of women who are just living life stressed out and overwhelmed. And I just want to help you see that there is a better way to live, and that if it's possible for me, it's possible for you too, because I am just like you. So that's why I created this retraining, just to start sharing some of the tools and tricks that I have up my sleeve, the things that I use in my daily life to really just help me just feel peaceful and calm, most of the time. So I'm happy that you're here. Again, if you're just joining, just say hi so that I know who you are. And if you didn't watch the training from yesterday I talked about, what self-care really is, what self-care means to me. And why it's more than just, having a day at the spa. And I talked about why self-care is really the most effective thing that you could do for yourself to really heal anxiety and keep stress from taking over your life. So if you didn't get a chance to watch that video yet, I encourage you to go back and watch it. It's still available in our group. So just scroll down a little bit till you find it and watch that. I shared, some stories from my own personal life about how this has affected me and how I implement self-care into my own everyday life. So go back and watch that if you haven't already. I'm using this new little stand that I got for my phone, and I don't know if it's sturdy enough, but I'm gonna do what I can. So hopefully it'll stay up. So today what I'm going to be talking about are the 6 keys to a happy and peaceful life. And these are just 6 key areas of life that I think that we all need to kind of have in check and be aware of in order to really just create that good life that we want to be living. So I'm hoping to not keep you on for too long today. Yesterday's video was a little long, but that's because I really wanted to share, the bigger picture of what this is with self-care for stress relief. But for today and for the rest of the challenges, I'm really just going to get right into it and just start sharing my tools and tricks with you. And I want you to just walk away with action steps and changes that you could start making right away in your life. So that's my hope and my intention for today's training. So let's get started. So the first key for a happy and peaceful life, I think, is to create a connection to a spiritual connection to, something, a higher being of our own understanding. So for some of us, that might be God. For others, we might say it's the universe or angels or whatever you believe in. It's just having that connection to something bigger than you, and knowing that there's something more than just you that's supporting you, that wants the best for you. Just developing that spiritual connection in something bigger than you. And this is if you don't do anything else, I really believe that this is the number one thing that you need to do to start letting go of stress and anxiety. And you might have to, try a few different things until you find the thing that you really feel connected to. And I know, for some of us, it might be religion. For others, we might think of ourselves as more spiritual than religious, but it doesn't matter how you define it. It's just creating that deep inner knowing, that deep connection that, only you can define for yourself. So, hi, I see that somebody's there, but I can't see who it is. So say hi if you're watching. I'm just talking about the 6 keys for a happy and peaceful life. And the first one is to create a spiritual connection to the higher being of your own understanding. So some of us might find that by, yay, hi Michelle. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have your own spiritual practice. I know that, It's different for all of us. For some of us, we might feel that connection when we go to church. For others, it might be when we're doing yoga, or if we're meditating, or if we're praying, or if we have like a community group in our church that we belong to. It's different for everybody, but just start to think about where in your life do you feel the most connected to God or to whatever you believe in, and really start to nurture that connection, because it's just so nice to just know and trust that there's something more out there. I love Jesus. Awesome. Right? And isn't it just like such a relief to know that like it's not just you out on a limb on your own, and you kind of just like feel like, like I could relax, like there's something out there supporting me. There's something or someone that's really looking out for me and wants the best for me, and just, wants me to live out my dreams and wants me to be the best person that I can be. And that kind of just gives you like the ability to kind of just like lean back and be like, I could relax, I'm fully supported, right? So that, I think, is the first key, is to just really start to develop that spiritual practice in whatever way, that means to you. And I know that it's different for everybody, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to believe, what I believe in or what anybody else believes in. Just start to cultivate that connection in a way that you can really like feel it and know it for yourself. So just, if you're noticing that this is something that you need a little more help in, just start to feel into, where do I feel more connected? Is it, could you maybe like start journaling? Could you start praying more? Could you start meditating every day? Just how could you nurture that connection and just start doing that so that you could really grow in that awareness and in that knowing that there's something out there bigger than you. So that's the first one. Yeah. So then the second thing that I think, the second key to a happy and peaceful life is to love ourselves, right? So it's very hard to feel happy if we don't love ourselves, and if we're looking out at everybody around us and wishing that, we could be like somebody else, and comparing ourselves to other people and thinking that like there's something wrong with us, or looking at our flaws and wishing that we could be different. So it's really important to just start to really love yourself. Start to look at what's unique and special about you. What do you love about yourself? What makes you special? And really start to just nurture those things in your life. Like, what are your strengths? Because we all have different strengths. We all have different things that we're good at. And there's no need to compare, right? Like, it's just, what are you good at? What makes you happy? What makes you different? What makes you unique? What makes you special? And what do you love about yourself? And start to do more of the things that you love, and you'll start to love yourself more. So that, I think, is like really the number 2 key to a happy life, is to learn to love yourself. And instead of focusing on what you want to change about yourself, which I know we do a lot, start to focus on what you love about yourself, and like strengthen your strengths instead of trying to get rid of your weaknesses. I just read a book about this, and it was a parenting book. I'll link to it later. But yeah, it was kind of just about like nurturing our kids, and instead of trying to like get rid of their weaknesses, to really focus on building up their strengths. And just like we want to do that for our kids, we need to start doing that for ourselves. So start focusing on your own unique strengths and what you're good at and what makes you special, and just really cultivate, your self-love that way. What was the name of the book? I have to look it up, so I will definitely post it in the group. But yeah, it was a pretty cool book, so I will definitely link to it in the comments later. I just have to remember what it was. So our first 2 reasons are: 1, develop a spiritual connection, like to something of your own, a higher power of your own understanding, and 2 is to start to love yourself and focus on loving yourself. So the third key to a happy and peaceful life is to build up your support system. And we are all here. We're not all alone in the world, right? We all have people in our lives that want to support us, and sometimes we don't let them support us. So we were not put here to just live out our lives and do it all on our own. We were placed into a life with family and friends and a community of people who we share our lives with and who we need to support each other. We need to help each other. And I know that for a lot of us who struggle with managing stress and anxiety, it's very easy for us to feel like we are alone in the world, and like, or we try to do it all by ourselves, and we think that like we have to do it all. But I'm here to tell you that you do not have to do it all. And like maybe you can do it all, but like why would you want to? It's just nice sometimes to know that there's people that can help you, and start to look at your support system in your life. Who in your life could you look to for support and help and guidance? And maybe that means this is something that you could really start doing right now, is to just take a look at your life and start to notice like where in your life do you feel the most stressed out. And those areas are the spots where you need to start asking for help a little bit. And you could ask for help. It doesn't have to be like this big serious thing. Like maybe you need to have a babysitter for an hour so that you could have an hour to yourself. Or maybe you're noticing that like the most stressful time of your day is dinner time, because you're like trying to get dinner ready and it's just, chaos in your house. So you want to start ordering a meal delivery service, right? Like that's a way of asking for help and support, and it's pretty simple. So just start looking at where in your life could you use more support, and don't be afraid to ask for it. Asking for help does not make you weak. In fact, it kind of takes inner strength to say like, I could let go of this and it's going to make me feel better. And my priority right now is feeling good, not feeling like I have to hold on tight to everything and do it all by myself. So really start to look at like where in your life could you use a little more support, and start to ask for it and request it, and then allow yourself to receive it. So that's the third step. And then our fourth step is body love. And that's just to start to really focus on loving your body. And it has nothing to do with what your body looks like. Michelle, I know that you're very into trying to live a healthy lifestyle right now, which is awesome. Oh, thanks, Angel. But body love, and I'm sure you ladies could agree with me, is not really about what we look like. And I've learned in my own life that the times where I start to feel the most comfortable in my body and really love my body the most is when I'm taking good care of myself. So loving your body is not about necessarily losing weight. It's not about the way you look. It's not about looking a certain way. It's about really taking good care of yourself. Because if you're taking good care of yourself by eating well, and drinking enough water and doing exercise that feels good in your body, and it might sound silly, but like just like getting dressed in the morning and getting out of your yoga pants and putting on a little makeup, like these are things that make us feel better. And when we feel good and we feel better, we start to really love ourselves more. And we don't necessarily look that much different, but it's all about how we feel. So start doing the things that really make you feel good and let you, start to love your body that way. I go to McDonald's once a week. Yes, like you have to live a little, right? That makes me happy. Yeah, it's all about balance. Totally get it. So I mean, if this is resonating with you, start to look at how can you start to love your body a little more. In what ways could you take care of yourself so that you start to feel more of that love towards your body? Because like we're in a partnership with our body, right? It's like our mind, our body, and our spirit, and we're all in this life together. So like we need to make sure that we're nurturing and taking care of all three parts of ourselves. So our body's like super important. So start to just love your body a little bit more. And then the fourth, am I on four? Hold on, let me go back. So develop a spiritual practice was one. Then learn to love yourself for who you are and your own unique strengths is two. Then 3 was to rely on your support system. 4 is body love. And then 5. Okay, so 5 is to really focus on your home environment and try to make your home really feel like a sacred space and make it feel like your happy place, your sanctuary. Because when you come home, if you see that like your house is a mess and there's clutter everywhere and you start to become a little bit of a hoarder, then what that does is it like makes us even more anxious, because clutter everywhere is like visual chaos and it causes anxiety. So when we have our house is, I'm not saying your house has to be perfect, but if it's pretty neat and, it's somewhere that's inviting to you and there's white space in our homes, then that creates white space in our minds and it allows us to relax and lowers our stress levels. So and you don't have to have your whole house be perfect, but start to look at walk in your house like as if you were walking into it for the first time and start to notice like where do your eyes go? Do you notice like that big pile of mail and that's like, oh God, I have to pay the bills and like that immediately stresses you out as soon as you walk in your house? Or are there like a pile of coats and shoes by the front door and that's just like a mess as soon as you walk inside? So just start to notice like where are those areas in your house where just right away, if it's like a pile of clutter, you're stressed out, and start to just focus on those key areas and declutter them and make them feel more like spacious. And that's going to reduce stress in your life. I promise you it will. For me, it's a table in my house. As soon as I walk in, that seems to be like the catch-all in my house. Like all our mail goes there, all our coats end up there, all our hats, gloves, just like everything ends up on this table. And when I walk in, like it's one of the first things that I see when I walk in the house. And if I walk in the house, and even if the whole rest of the house is neat and this table is like piled up with just crap, like I immediately am like, ugh, the house is a mess, right? But if I try to keep that table just nice and neat and there's like just a candle on it when I walk in, it just immediately reduces my stress level and makes me happy to be home. So really start to focus on that. And then the other thing is if you want to take this a little one step further, just start to really see how can you make your home feel even more special? How can you make it feel more like a sanctuary? Can you start lighting candles every night? Can you start to buy fresh flowers every week? What's going to make you feel like your home is really like your safe space and just like this beautiful place that you love coming home to? Because our homes are the place where we come at the end of the day to relax and unwind and rest. So if we feel like, we don't love the space that we're in, we're not going to be able to fully be nurtured and nourished by our space. So our physical space is really important. Our homes are an extension of who we are. So really just start looking at just like simple little things that you could tweak in your house. Maybe you can get like your favorite cozy blanket and throw it over the couch so that you could cuddle up there every night. Maybe you have a fireplace that you never turn on, like start using it, right? So just start to see like what could I do to make my home environment feel more special? And that'll make you feel better too. And then the last thing, hi Antonian, how are you? I'm so excited that people are watching live. So I'll go through all the keys at the end just to recap, but the very last key to living a happy and peaceful life is to really just start to take ownership of your life and realize that you are the person who's in control of your life. No one is going to sweep in and give you the life that you're dreaming of. It's really up to you. And you have to start making changes to live the life that you want to live. And I know that that might sound a little harsh, but it's the truth. I feel pretty good in my life right now, and that's because I've created a happy life for myself. I do the things that I know, which are these steps that I'm talking about. And I know that I need to do these things if I want to feel peaceful and happy. And I promise you that everyone else that you look at that seems like they have, like a pretty peaceful life, it's because they've taken steps to get there. It hasn't just like, it's not luck. I mean, maybe it's a little bit luck, but not really. It's not just luck. You don't just get handed everything you want. You have to work for it. And if living a peaceful and happy life is important to you, then I encourage you to start making the changes that you need to make to start feeling better. And I really believe that if you start taking just small, simple steps like the ones that I just described and start working on each of these key areas in your life and start to realize that like I am the holder of my life. I rule my life. I'm in charge of my life, and I'm going to create the best life that I could create. Then your whole life is going to start to change, and you're going to start to feel so much better, and your anxiety is going to decrease because you're not feeling like you're a victim of your circumstances. You're not feeling like, ugh, like life is just like, whatever, I just have to deal with this. And then the other thing that a lot of us do is that we think that we have to wait to start living the life that we have to be living. Like maybe we want to wait until our kids are a little older and then I'll go after whatever I want to be doing in life. Or maybe once I lose weight, then I'm going to feel good. Or maybe once I get a good man, then I'm going to feel good, right? Like we have these stories that we tell ourselves. But like, no, why would you put off living a good life until your kids are older, until you're a certain weight, until you have like met the man of your dreams? Like that's really silly. Like your life is happening right now. Take ownership of your life right now. There is no perfect time to start creating a perfect life. And I hate to break it to you, but there is no perfect life. There's only a life that feels good, and how you get there is by start doing things that make you feel good. So this is the last step. The key step is to realize that you are in control of your life and start taking back that control by doing things that are going to decrease your anxiety, that are going to make you happy, that are going to make you feel good. So go out and do these things. So thank you. Thanks, ladies. I'm so happy that this is resonating with you. So again, let me recap the 6 steps. So the 6 keys to a happy life are: 1, to create a deep spiritual connection to a higher power of your own understanding. And you could go back and watch and see everything I said about that subject, but just start doing the things that make you feel connected to something bigger than yourself, and you will instantly start to feel a sense of relief and peace throughout your life. That's number 1. Then number 2 is to start to really love yourself. Start to look at the things that make you special, that make you unique, that make you happy, and start doing more of those things and really focusing on those things and really focusing on your strengths and what you're good at, and really cultivating that inner self-love for yourself. Then our third one is to look at our support system and really start counting on our support system. So look at your life and see where you are already very supported and where do you need a little more support. And then start asking for help. There's no shame in asking for help. We all need help. We can't do this alone. So ask for help, ask for support, rely on your support system. People want to support you, and you will be surprised. It makes other people feel good when they could be there to help you. Just like think about like when you help other people, doesn't that make you feel good to know that like you're helping out somebody that needs help, right? So like people want to help you, people want to support you. Let them, and that'll decrease your stress level a lot, because that time that you're freeing up by giving something to someone else, that gives you more time to focus on you and do more of these things that like you love, that are going to help you create a happy life. So rely on your support system. And then our fourth one is to cultivate love for your body. And again, it's not about how we look. It's about doing things that make ourselves feel good and make us feel like we're taking care of our bodies. So just, like maybe start paying attention a little more to what you're eating. Start eating the things that feel good. Drink plenty of water, drink your favorite tea, go for a walk every day, do exercise that feels good to you, get dressed up, maybe not like totally dressed up like I'm in yoga pants right now, but the days where I put on jeans, I do feel a little bit more perkier. So, just do the things that make you feel good in your body and start to cultivate that love for your body. And then a focus on step 5 is our homes. So start to really make your home a sacred space. Remove clutter. I know that January is actually like a big month where everyone's, kind of focusing a little bit on decluttering and simplifying their lives. So start to declutter a little bit. Clean out just one space that seems a little messy to you. Clean out that spot where all of your, stuff ends up. Just clear off that clutter, and then do something special for yourself. Maybe you want to buy yourself some flowers this week. Maybe tonight you're going to lay up on your couch and light a candle, and that's just going to feel special. So just start to make little changes in your home to make it feel more like a sacred space. And that's going to make a big difference. And then finally, just realize that this is really just a mindset shift, just realizing that you are in control of your life. So take ownership of your life and just start to make necessary changes. And if you do these 6 steps, I know that you are going to start living a happy and peaceful life. And you are going to feel just so good and so different, because you're focusing on yourself and you're focusing on these 6 key areas. And then the last thing that I'm going to say is that this is also not just something that you do once and then like you're done and you have a happy and peaceful life forever. These are things that you're going to want to keep going back to over and over again. And if you notice, like if you like get in a good space where like you're in alignment with all these 6 key areas of your life and things are going good, and then what's going to happen is like life is going to happen and something's going to stress you out and you're going to start to notice that like, oh, like I'm not feeling that good anymore. So I ask you to check in with these 6 key areas, and chances are one or more of them have kind of just like you haven't been paying attention to. So start to notice which one of those is and just start making like little steps to focus more on those areas so that you start to feel better. And this is what I do, you know. I notice, we all notice when we're starting to not feel good anymore. So I start to look at these 6 key areas and look at, okay, like where have I fallen off track? And then I start taking, you know, just small doable steps every day to make it feel better. So your homework assignment for today is going to be to look at these 6 areas of your life and see which one do you want to start focusing on, which one needs more of your attention. And I bet that as you were listening to me talk, one of them probably jumped out at you and you're like, oh yeah, I need to start doing that. So if you know right now what that area is for you, please type it into the comments. I would love to know. And if you're watching the replay, please type it in. I would love to know what you're going to be focusing on. And just by sharing, like that's taking accountability, that's taking ownership for yourself by saying this is the one area that I need to focus on. So I encourage you to really type it into the comments. And, you know, we could support each other. We could hold each other accountable. We could be part of that support system for each other by just checking in and saying, oh, like, hey, how are you doing with this? So, Michelle, loving myself. Good one. And Thejal, loving my body. Great. Those are like huge, ladies. If you focus on like this one area and just think of one small step that you could start taking to really love yourself more, love yourself for your own unique qualities, and then love your body for its own unique qualities, your whole life is going to change. Like these are life-changing things that you both chose. So just start to think about, like, if you know already what's one thing that you can do to love yourself more or focus on your strengths, or one more thing to take better care of your body. Like, let me know the one thing that you're going to do. And stop negative self-talk. That's a great one, Michelle. I don't know if you watched the video from yesterday, but I talked a lot about negative self-talk and like how to start spinning it into a more positive direction. So if you want to go back and watch that, I'm also happy to talk to you if you want to message about it later. So yeah, so that's your homework assignment. And then the last thing that I want to say is, if you're watching this video and like these 6 keys are really resonating with you, these are the 6 steps that we're going to be talking about in my group coaching program that you all know that I've been sharing about. It's starting next week. It's called Self-Care Queen, and it starts on Monday. And what I've done is these 6 key areas are each going to be 1 month of our program. So we're going to have a whole month where we're focusing on, I made it so that like each month is one of these topics and it's a mantra. So like January is going to be focusing on our connection to spirituality, and our mantra is, what is our mantra? I am sacred. Our mantra is I am sacred. So it's going to be all about different ways to build that connection to something bigger than you. And then February, our mantra is I love myself. And that's going to be, we're going to be learning all about different ways to focus on what we love about ourselves, what's good about ourselves, what's special about ourselves. And then the 3rd month is I am fully supported, and that's going to be really about taking a look at your whole support system. Where in your life do you have support and you're kind of taking it for granted, and where do you need more support? And then we're going to be talking a lot about how to ask for the help and support that you need. Then month 4 is my body is my temple, and we're going to be talking all about body love and different ways to really just start to really just like love your body and take good care of yourself. Then the 5th month is about my home is my castle, and that's going to be all about really going deep into making our homes our sacred space. And then 6, our final month is I am sovereign, and that's all about really like looking at yourself as the queen of your life and stepping into the role of ownership and power and just like ruling over your life and making your life the dream life that you know that you deserve to be living. So if this is something that you really want to really go deep into over the next 6 months, I'm going to post a link in the comments so that you could check out the full 6-month coaching program. And this is like a really deep dive program for people who are really looking to really just change their lives in major ways with a group of other women who are doing the same thing. It's, I know it's not for everybody, the program, and that's why I'm doing this training so that you could, start to get a little bit of help if you don't feel like you need like a full deep dive commitment. But if you do feel like, you're tired of living the way that you've been living and something's got to change, but you don't know how to start changing it, and you want guidance and support every step of the way, like this program might be for you. So I'm going to post a link in the comments below so that you could check it out. So that's it. That's all I have for today. I hope that this has helped you, ladies. Please go give some thought to which of these 6 key areas do you need to focus on, and share in the comments which one are you going to start giving a little bit more love and time and attention to. And let me know, if you know the area that you need help with, but you don't know how to start really making the changes. Like, I'm happy to talk with you about it. Send me a message and I'm happy to give you some ideas. I have a lot of tools and like different just simple things that you could start doing and simple steps that you could start changing in each of these areas. So if you need help, I'm happy to help you out. You are going to change. Oh, thank you so much, Thejal. I appreciate that. Thank you. So thanks, ladies. If you're just hopping on now, I see someone hopped on. I'm not sure who it is, but go back and watch the replay. And again, just comment below and let me know which of these 6 key areas is resonating the most with you right now, and what you're going to start doing to really focus on changing that for yourself and really giving that some love and attention so that you can start creating the happy and peaceful life that you deserve to be living, because it's all in your power and you hold the key to creating the life that you want to live. So just start today, start making the changes, and start by picking one of these areas and doing one small thing to focus on that. Okay, so thank you, ladies. I love you. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.